What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, alongside my man
Maurice Bride at MauriceBride.com and Maurice Be Fit.
There you go. Go to those places and do whatever you do. Subscribe, all that. So check it out. So we actually were squatting today. We did some front squats and all that. And he kind of wanted to speak on, I think it's a good topic, the importance of hip mobility. Also throw in ankle mobility when you're doing squats and leg movements.
Okay, so we went through all types of squats that I weren't used to, like front squats, and all types of what was it? A hack squat? We used the machine.
It was a power squat.
Power squat. We used a power squat machine. I'm very versed in back squats. I've been back squatting for about 10 plus years now, but I'm not so versed in front squats and machine squats of different variations. But what I did notice is having ample core stabilization and having efficient mobility in the hips is key to any variation of squat. I know there's a plethora of things that you can bring into the conversation that will help you enhance the squat's efficiency, like breathing, feet placement, like he said, ankle mobility. But in my opinion, having a vast amount of both hip efficiency, hip mobility, and core stabilization, knowing how to control your core, goes above and beyond the call of duty in terms of ensuring that your squats are hitting optimally all across the board.
So the question is, how do you increase your mobility of those muscles, whatever, the hip joint, the hip flexors and all that? And I'll point you guys to the pillar prep, movement prep video that I've done. I'm going to link it down below. But a lot of things you want to do, I believe in foam rolling your ankles before training, doing clockwise and counterclockwise rotation with the foam roller, which as you'll see in the video. Rolling your calves out. Calves are obviously where your flexibility comes in. Tight calves equals not so mobile ankles. Roll those out with the pin roller. When you move on up, you obviously do your hamstrings or quads. Move on up to the hips. There's one where you take where you lay on it in literally the fetal position, and you put this part right here. You go about this far between your hip bone down here, and then you take it back here. This little meaty area right here. You lay down on it. You're gonna feel a nice little sensation going down your leg. That's one way to loosen up your hips. And of course, the foam roller across your glute is also a great way where you cross your legs. So there's so many ways to do it. And another thing you saw me do pre-workout is mini bands. Mini bands you also see in the pillar prep and the movement prep, where you take bands. First you go vertically, and then you go laterally. Where you're doing this, you're working out the hips.
Exactly.
And another thing you do to increase that hip mobility before you start a squat or any kind of squat movement is take a goblet squat, and at the bottom, rotate side to side basically in the hole, and that'll get you nice and loosened up. So hip mobility, hip flexibility is very, very important, not just for overall health and being able, because we're sitting all day.
Exactly.
Your body's not meant to sit as much as you do. And as you'll see in my office behind this camera right here, I have a stand-up desk and a seating desk, which I alternate between 10 and 30 minutes of each. So if I get tired of standing, I sit. Or if I tend to get a little lackadaisical, I tend to stare at the screen. I find that standing up helps me. It's also great for your posture where you're not in the seated or the standing position on a consistent basis. A lot of you guys who do work at a desk and, obviously they have portable standing desks where it literally just sits on top of your current desk.
And I want to say another thing too. I have never seen anyone warm up as thoroughly as Marc has. I've noticed that.
I'm old.
And it's not just because he's old. It's because
That's
he
fucked
cares
up.
about.
Why'd you call me old?
It's not just because he's old. He cares about his body and he cares about longevity. I regret coming in on the first day and not warming up as thorough as he did, because I damn sure felt it.
You saw that chest day. I mean, the thing is, there's also upper body. You talk about hips, you talk about this.
Exactly.
But what I'll do is I will also roll out my lats on back and chest day, because your lats are a huge player in the chest movements. Basically take the foam roller, go across here, then take the lacrosse ball, go up against a wall, make sure this area is nice and loose enough, because remember, you're working your fascia. When you do any kind of rolling activity, your fascia is very malleable, meaning that if you get a knot in your back, what does a massage therapist can do? They're going to work it out. What this fascial therapy does, utilizing pillar prep, which as we call in Exos, I'm an Exos trainer, so I'm going to obviously say that shit. Pillar prep and movement prep is you're essentially prepping the fascia, make sure that's nice and loosened up, because if your fascia is tight, in my opinion, and the opinion of many experts, you're more likely to get injured.
Yeah. So you heard it there, guys. Pay attention to your fascia, pay attention to your hip mobility, pay attention to your ankle mobility, pay attention to everything among your body from the tip of your crown to the bottom of your toes, man. That's all I have, to say to you guys. Take care of yourself inside and out, top to bottom, right to left.
He said, pay attention to your tip.